violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So guys, I wanted to make a video making you guys aware of what's going on with these Pooh Shiesty masks. Pooh Shiesty is a rap artist, and, you know, he's currently locked up on, you know, gun charges. He did a couple things that got him in trouble. We're not going to go into that. But I want to speak on how these Pooh Shiesty masks have become popularized and have gotten a lot of people killed, okay? Because of the, you know, situation that we've got with the health and sickness and stuff like that. Pooh Shiesty has been popularized, and he's been wearing this mask, okay? And it's basically like a Nike fitted mask. You know, it seems like it's harmless, and you would even see football players wearing these masks before. I mean, I have a whole suit that it's almost like a onesie, and then you just put the mask hood on. It's for when you're playing football in, you know, very cold weather. But people have started to wear these masks out in public, along with regular ski masks, and they're wearing them because the mask policies in stores implemented because of the CV, okay? So brothers have taken that mask policy and turned it into a way to disguise yourself. So sometimes you'll even see people wearing a mask, like a, you know, the standard issue CV mask, and then they'll be wearing the little hooded thing on top of it. I see that all the time, okay? Especially in Metro Atlanta area. I see it all the time. And it has enabled a lot of violence. In these smash and grabs that you've seen across the country, they wear those masks, okay? So people are getting put on game. Stores are being put on game. And they have banned these masks. Now, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop brothers from running into these convenience stores, running out and doing all this stuff. You know, in the community, we don't really listen to rules. So when you see these signs, you'll be like, okay, you know, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you'll be like, okay, let me take my Pooh Shiesty mask off. But if you're a criminal, you're just going to keep it on, walk in, and see if somebody says something to him. When they tell you to leave, something might go down. So these masks have caused a lot of, well, they're not the cause, but they've been an excuse for people to walk around basically hiding their identity with these masks, okay? And nobody saying anything about it. Like, you could see somebody a couple months ago, you'd see somebody walk in with a mask like that into the Walmart or any store for that matter, and oh yeah, he's got a mask on, he's good. That's what has started to occur. That's the precedent that has been set. And in the community, we think it's cute that, oh, well, they started banning the mask. Look, even this post, they're laughing. Shiesty the trendsetter, laughing emoji. Well, Pooh Shiesty just pled guilty to a multitude of charges. He's finna sit down for 8 years, 10 years, whatever. And he was facing 20 to life. So this isn't cute, but everybody's laughing. And the reason why I know in the community that we think it's cute that they had to implement this this rule is because, look, everybody's laughing in the comment section of the Say Cheese. Okay? Everybody's laughing in the comment section of the Say Cheese post. All right? It's all jokes to us. But they don't know what has happened. They don't know what has occurred. And that's why I need you guys to share this video. share my videos, all the videos that you watch of me, because people don't really know what's going on. I'm telling you. Like, I only have, what, 754 subs or something like that. People have no idea what's going on in these streets. They really don't. They're living oblivious. And that's why you got to share it. You got to push these videos so that people will be put on game, so at least they can try and defend themselves. If they see indicators of demon time, they'll be able to get out of the way. But if you're not sharing these videos, then, you know, maybe your loved ones they're not put on game. They're not put on code. They don't understand what's going on in these streets. They don't understand what's going on in these metro areas. Okay?
Tonight, there's been 122 murders in Atlanta this year alone, and police need your help solving 2 of them. A 40-year-old woman killed randomly in a park, and a Florida man shot to death during a scuffle. 11 Eyes Hope Forward has the surveillance video, the photographs of the suspects, and how many other outstanding murders there are in our city.
It was March of this year when 40-year-old Alexia Banks was in Deerwood Park. Look at the red car. You see a man get out and fire wildly.
Wow. So these dudes are so bold that they just pulling out broad daylight. That's what's been going on more often than not. Broad daylight shootings.
He was in the park, bullets started flying, and she got shot.
Atlanta investigator David Jenkins says Banks was just hanging out in the park, an innocent bystander hit by the bullets from this person's gun.
Wow.
We were able to get a...
Look at this brother, man. Didn't have a clue what was going on. And this, you can't really, you know, can't really do much about this one. Honestly. Just a random shooting. Not much to, you can't do much to avoid something like this happening. Just, I guess, not be in the hood. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that he did wrong.
Get a person of interest in this case. He has not been identified at this time, so we're asking the public for help to try to identify him. Banks
was the 28th person killed in Atlanta in 2021. In August, 28-year-old Marquise Jenkins became the 109th murder victim in the city. An aspiring rapper artist named Foolproof, he was shot in the Vine City area.
Wow. Rappers are dropping like flies, and this is a guy that you probably would have never heard of. I've never heard of him, but he was in the Atlanta area doing everything right, using the hashtags to get, you know, popping. And he's not using the typical rapper hashtags. He's using ATL casting calls, ATL director. He's trying to get some, you know, movie producers to look at him, because it looks like he's at Tyler Perry Studios. It looks like he was a well-rounded artist, not only with music, but he probably could do some acting too. But he's taken out. And maybe he was involved in something. Maybe he was in the streets. Okay. Maybe he was in the streets, but it's crazy. I didn't hear when this happened. Went right past me.
Named Foolproof, he was shot in the Vine City area.
2 individuals ran up on him, and that led into the
I don't like the way he said ran up on him.
to the shooting.
Investigator Jenkins says one suspect has warrants out for his arrest, but the other
is at large.
This is surveillance video of the second suspect in a store. Later, police found Jenkins outside this store with gunshot wounds. The Florida native died at the hospital.
Wow. Wow. So came from Florida up to the A. Thought he was going to be able to, you know, get something popping out here. This is the suspect. Demon time.
found Jenkins outside this store with gunshot wounds. The Florida native died at the hospital. There's been 122 murders so far this year in Atlanta, a 21% increase from the same time last year. Warrants issued or arrests made in 88 of the 2021 murders. And police hope the community will help solve the cases of Alexia Banks and Marquise Jenkins.
And we want to emphasize these murders are not related. Crime Stoppers,
they don't even have them solved. They putting out suspect information to put you on game. Unless they got a real picture of these guys, it's going to continue to go that way, unsolved.
is now offering $5,000 in reward money for information on either of those murders. And you can find and you can watch those surveillance videos once again on 11alive.com.
We're continuing to stay on top of breaking news out of Marietta. Paolo Soro joining us live now, where a woman's body was found at a hotel. Paolo, what have you learned there on the ground?
Sheba, that's exactly right. A woman's body was found inside the in-town suites here behind me. We've actually been moved off the property as investigators look into what happened. You can see a crime scene van is on location where there.
Man, in the community, the women, the children are not off limits. I mean, we really are equal opportunity employers when it comes to this murder shit. Like, women can get it, children can get it. Like, in the community, that is just standard, and it's disgusting. It's horrible. But what can you do?
There are a few people right there gathered, so they are looking into this. But for perspective, this is on the Barrett Parkway.
Bruh. My man's pants. Anyways, let's go.
Exit off of 575. It's a pretty busy area with many restaurants and apartments.
Bro, hold on. I'm sorry, but my guy right here, the pants is so low that he's got to hold them up. He don't even got a belt on. Like, bruh, just put a belt on it. But that's the swag. That's the, you know what I'm saying? That's the style. Okay, cool. It is what it is, man.
With many restaurants and apartment complexes. This in-town suite is an extended stay hotel. People usually come here. They stay for a while. But, you know.
So, guys, this is very common. People staying in hotels, in Atlanta especially. People staying in the hotels. They trying to get on their feet. You know, some families stay in these hotels. And they rent them out like it's an apartment complex. And it's night to night. You pay night to night, or you pay weekly or whatnot, whatever you got going on with the landlord. And they tough it out like that. But a lot of times it can be dangerous because, you know, people buy a room, try and make some plays in the hotel room or whatnot, try and do some illicit activities, you know, buy a room and, you know, buying hookers and all types of stuff. A lot of things go down in these little hotels, like these low budget hotels. So make sure before y'all go into these hotels, y'all are reading the reviews.
Police could not really give us a timeline on when this happened, on if the woman happened to be with anyone else. They could not confirm anything. What they did say, however, is that this right now is a homicide investigation and that she was found at the in-town suites here behind me. Again, this is an extended stay hotel, but of course we will stay on scene, try to talk to people who are in the area to try and get more answers and keep you updated on the air as well as on social media. So
guys, this is the woman who was killed in that hotel. She's from South Carolina, RIP. Came to Georgia, Atlanta, probably thought, you know, like a lot of other people come here and think that, oh yeah, you're just gonna have a great time and it's gonna be lit, party, whatever. But things can go south really quick in the A. And I wanted to show you guys her face because I think it's important to show you the victim and then the perpetrator. So this is he. This is who Jalen Belton was killed by. Apparently, they were dating. Apparently, they were in some type of domestic dispute, and you know he went full demon time. So anyways, a man accused of killing a woman inside a Cobb County hotel was on the run for 8 days, but he couldn't outrun Atlanta officers on bicycles. Ulysses Grant Gatling. So the bicycle cops got this man. But Ulysses Grant Gatling III was arrested about 11 a.m. Wednesday after he was spotted around the King Center pathway. Police in both Cobb and Atlanta confirmed. Gatling, 31, has been charged with murder and aggravated assault in the death of Jalen Belton, according to police. Or Jalen, I guess it's, I don't know why I'm saying like Jalen like it's an Asian name. This confirms the effectiveness of utilizing law enforcement partnerships combined with solid police work, Atlanta police posted on Facebook. Together, our crime fighting reach is longer and we are stronger. Okay, so you saw what went down. And we'll get into the actual arrest. So you see they on bikes, they tracked them down. I mean, everybody thinks they're gonna outrun the bicycle cops till they actually pull up on you. I don't know where the audio is. They must not have turned their joints on yet. But see their position. They got them from the front and the back. He doing the most. Still resisting a little bit. I mean, he went easily, but it's so crazy how these dudes are moving now. It really is.
Anything on your need to know about?
He asked him, anything on you need to know about? I mean, shout out to these cops, man, who pulled up on this man and got this brother off the streets. Looked like he was trying to bum it on some like homeless stuff. And he was probably staying with Jalen. Y'all women need to stop taking these hobosexuals in. I mean, these brothers leeching off you, but she probably dealing with him because she liked the way he felt. The stroke game was stupid. It's unfortunate, man.
Hey, sir, I'm gonna take this fully off, okay?
You looking at the picture?
Hey, I'm gonna have to go ahead and check if she ain't got no weapons on you, okay?
Wow.
Do you have any ID, sir? Okay.
Look, he ain't saying nothing. Hey, at least he kept quiet. At least he didn't start self-snitching. But you know, they gonna get him in that precinct. He probably gonna admit to all of it. Whew. Tough, man. Why'd you do it, bruh?
Yeah, I tell you what. You mind just having a seat for me then on the floor?
Breaking this afternoon, the three men who killed Ahmaud Arbery just sentenced in a Georgia courtroom. Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, given life without parole. William Roddy Bryan sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. They killed Arbery in February of 2020 while he was...
So, I just wanted to stop it really quick because we're seeing the Ahmaud Arbery situation and the Travis McMichael and them. They get convicted. Cool. I'm cool with that. But when I got this headline, for one, the headline said 3 white men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery, sentenced to life. And when you read this article attached to this video, the first passage says 3 white men convicted, da 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 da. And I'm sitting here like, I just did 2 videos on brothers who killed sisters and brothers who killed other brothers who were aspiring artists and musicians and whatnot. And there was no mention, no mention of their race. Even the last one I did with the Ulysses brother, they didn't say, "Oh, black man kills black woman," and da-da. They never do. Because if they did, it would be too many headlines with the word black in it, honestly. They'll have to start switching it up to African American, da-da-da. Like, they'll have to use all types of synonyms to make it seem like it's not as bad as it is. You know, obviously this is a horrible situation, Ahmaud Arbery, and there's so many eyes on this situation, but there are no eyes on any of these stories that I've done that pretty much are preventable. Like, these people are innocent. These people were innocent. Ahmaud Arbery, you know, he didn't deserve to die, but you can't really say, "Oh man, he was just a stand-up brother." You can't really do that, obviously. You know, and I'm glad justice was served. But I want to see these news stations, and they're not, but what I would like to see is them really hone in on what's really going on in the world, and that's the community devouring each other.
Out for a run. NBC News correspondent Katie Beck is outside the courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia. Katie, could you break down the judge's decision for us? What did he say, and how are people there reacting?
Sure, Alison, the judge gave a very lengthy explanation about why he made the decision he did. Really, the first time we've had a window into how the judge feels about this case. He said Ahmaud Arbery's murder was a tragedy. This was a boy with dreams, and that he felt that we needed to sort of take this as a teaching moment about communities and about.
I'm not gonna lie, like, the protests, although, you know, a light needed to be shined on this, especially how it was handled initially. The protests are kind of cringe when we don't have that same thing going on in our communities. Like, we just saw George Floyd's niece get shot. Nobody protests anything. Nobody sitting outside that hood talking about some put the guns down, justice for the niece of George Floyd. So, like, you know, nobody's Black Lives Matter didn't even no, not even an official statement. Like I said, they should be convicted, but I want to see us keep this same energy for our own. I really do, because that's the only thing that's going to change it. But if we did keep that same energy, I mean, you have to do like some some overnight stay. You're going to have to bring a campfire. You're going to have to bring a tent, extra food, because you're going to be protesting for a long time.
Neighbors. He basically handed down the toughest possible sentence that he could for the McMichaels and gave a slightly lesser sentence for Roddy Bryant, but that was based on remorse. He said he felt the McMichaels throughout the trial and throughout the course of events in the case demonstrated little remorse for what they had done. And he felt because of the fact that there were so many serious charges, he simply could not ignore what the jury had decided with their guilty verdict, that he needed to hold them accountable today. And that is what he said. This is about accountability for the actions that they took on that day. And that is what dictated his sentence today.
At a minimum, Ahmaud Arbery's death should force us to consider expanding our definition of what a neighbor may be and how we treat them.
Expand the definition of what a neighbor may be. I'm sorry, but bro was not a neighbor. And maybe he was looking in that house to just look at a vacant house and you know, think about real estate and all that kind of stuff. Maybe he was. But bro was he wasn't a neighbor. He lived like 30 minutes from the neighborhood he was in. But shout out to the judge for doing the right thing.
I argue that maybe a neighbor is more than the people who just own property around your house. I also believe that in assuming the worst in others, we show our worst character.
Now, we also heard emotional testimony earlier today from Ahmaud's mother and Ahmaud's father, who both took the stands and gave victim impact statements, talking about how proud they were of their son, how much they'll miss him, and how the images of him being executed in the street that day will haunt them every day for the rest of their lives. Alison.
Yeah, Katie, tell us more about that. We know that his mother spoke at today's hearing. Tell us more about what she said and who else spoke in court before that sentencing.
Well, she laid out her case as to why she wanted the judge to give a life sentence without parole. The defense attorneys for the three defendants gave some indication that they felt that was too harsh, that should be reserved for the worst of the worst, and that the McMichaels could over time be rehabilitated and grow while they were in prison. But
I mean, they all lived a life of no crime, no priors. They just made the wrong call. And I think they came on way too aggressive too, with the guns drawn and all that kind of stuff. Like they was doing the most. It was just some stupid country, like, bravado-esque move, and it cost them their freedom. Was it racially motivated? Absolutely. But like I said, we got to keep that same energy for our own. This conviction, it's a good thing. And then the district attorney, I believe, who tried to cover it up, yeah, she need to be held accountable too. But man, I just cannot get behind the selective protesting. Like, bro, we need to be, if this is how we're going to get justice served, we need to be doing this for all the black kids, women who are getting taken out. Like all the stories that I do.
Clearly, there was a persuasiveness about hearing from Ahmaud's mother, who said simply that they tried to intimidate her son, and when he wouldn't be intimidated, they shot and killed him. The judge also brought that up in his sentencing remarks, that comment she made on the stand actually had a very strong impact in his decision as well. He felt that the lack of remorse from the McMichaels was overwhelming, and that he felt that is why they deserve the maximum here.
Okay.
My family is going to miss Ahmaud. We're going to miss his jokes, his impersonations, his warm smile. These men deserve the maximum sentence for their crimes. Ahmaud never said a word to them. He never threatened them. He just wanted to be left alone.
And this is actually not where the story ends for these three defendants. They are actually facing a federal trial in about a month from now, based on hate crimes. So this center stage will change.
Wow, they're finna wax them. They're finna wax them. They're finna wax them. I mean, woo. If only we could get this same energy for the thugs who shooting up the block and kill a 4-year-old, kill a 7-year-old. If only we get that same energy, like, I'd be content. But if, never mind.
change. In this particular case, race came into play very little. It was sort of silent in the criminal prosecution. But in the federal trial, Ahmaud's mother says she believes they should be held fully accountable there as well. Alison.
All right, Katie, back in Brunswick, Georgia. Thank you so much for your reporting today.